The cornucopia of art that flows out of Spokane artist Melissa Cole can be described as multifaceted, colorful, and prolific. She has honed her craft by creating some of the Spokane area's most recognizable works that span close to 20 years and counting. Coming from a well-traveled life growing up as the daughter of a pilot father and an artist mother, Melissa has always had art in her life.
I come from an artistic family. My mother's a painter, and most of the members of my mom's family, make baskets or do ceramic sculptures, and then my father's two sisters paint too. And so it was just one of the other things I did. I've always created art. It was just part of normal life, but I also really love science. I chased lizards around and I love to swim. In college, I took sculpture along with zoology, and that's what I love. And so I just started learning how to do mosaics because I wanted to do artwork outside, and I learned how to sculpt in concrete, and then I needed to do some metal sculptures, so I learned how to weld and do some bronzes, and it actually has really helped me to be able to learn how to do all of those different mediums. With the river dance piece, it was one of my first projects in the convention center, and it was an interior project, and I put a little bit of mosaic in it and painting, but then I realized a lot of the calls for art were exterior, and so I thought, well, I need to learn how to do things that will, hold up to our Pacific Northwest weather. And so I went to Oakland Institute of Mosaic Art, and I learned how to sculpt in concrete and do exterior mosaic that will hold up in this weather.
In Melissa's case, you could say she lives in art. Thanks to her working relationship with her husband Brandon, a prolific underwater professional photographer, Melissa occasionally lends a hand in their team effort to snap some gorgeous images.
He photographs whales and sharks and dolphins, and me with them actually, because a lot of the scuba diving magazines would like to see someone in there just for scale. And he's lucky because I was a dive master, so I already was diving and I knew how to dive well. But it's been really nice actually because it's taken us all over the world. It's been a really nice teamwork together because I get to go away and be with animals and be inspired and then come back and create those images on canvas and sculptures. And so it just is always filling up my cup to do that. When I first started creating artwork, we had just been to Australia and I was really influenced by Indigenous work. I loved all of the dots and the stories and the way that they created large artwork, but I didn't want to use the same patterns that they did because they're so meaningful to them. I also grew up in India and I had a lot of the patterns in ceramics and the saris that they wear. So I think all of those helped me create a bright, colorful, lots of ethnic designs. I had so many patterns in them that they sort of made people's eyes go crazy, and mine too. And so over time, I've started adding more texture and then larger fields of color where people are able to rest their eyes a little bit more. Going to see Van Gogh's museum in Amsterdam really changed everything because he has so much texture in his paintings, and so that changed the way that I paint. I add a lot more texture to things.
With stones and glass, both of which are either found or created in her kilns, Melissa has evolved from mainly doing animals to subjects that involve social change and figurative works.
There are more calls for art that are asking for three-dimensional work. I went to Spain and I saw Gaudi's mosaic work and just thought, oh, I would love to do that. And so I learned how to do mosaics because of Gaudi, really. People always think that when I paint women, then they're me, and that's probably just because that's what I see every day in the mirror. But most of the mermaids, I would say, are probably me because I feel like I am a mermaid sometimes because I spend so much time and I'm so comfortable in water. It feels like another home to me when I get in there. I started doing murals in Spokane, I think in 2009 with at-risk youth, and we did 6 different walls in the railroad underpasses. But I've gone on to work in schools and libraries.
By sharing her talents and knowledge, Melissa has created opportunities for young people to learn from an artist and to help her create art. including student-created wood panels of mixed media art in Anchorage, Alaska, to performing as an artist in residency in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, guiding elementary students in the creation of an exterior mural. More recently, she helped Tapteel elementary students create panels of mixed media art throughout their school in Richland, Washington, while working for the Washington State Arts Commission and the Richland School District.
It was just really fun, and so now they have 27 different panels that go throughout the school, and it's part of the Yakima River ecosystem. Got to see the kids again, and they just love doing it, and they all say, I did that flower and I did that rock, and I don't know if they know which ones they did, but it's really meaningful for people to be a part of that, and so that's one type of artwork that I'm definitely going to continue doing. I think people see different things when they see artwork. I want them to be surprised and to stop and actually look at the artwork. These are all the things that send you down the rabbit hole. And I don't want everything to be happy, but I do like it to be uplifting. I like it to make people feel some sort of way. I just want them to stop for a second and actually look at it.